By the second generation, um, barely 10% of the kids speak Spanish as their primary language. I mean, they are accumulating English, acquiring English about as quickly, if not more quickly, than other groups. Now, there is some tendency to hold on to Spanish, particularly on the border, because you hear it. But then again, I hold on to Spanish. I find myself like sometimes thinking something in Spanish, even though I'm not a great Spanish speaker, because I'm surrounded by that. It's a nearby culture. And there's some differences in general. People can get TV from their home countries. You know, when a Norwegian immigrant moved to Minnesota in 1850, you know, once those Norwegian-speaking institutions died, there was no way they were going to stay in touch. They weren't going to hop on a plane and fly to Oslo. So I think it is a little bit different. But you know, if you look at Latino Americans or Mexican Americans, they're a very high number in the armed services. Many now in the absolute top of the U.S. military. I don't know. This doesn't seem like you're not blending in. I see more of a integration of their culture into the American culture, and the American culture is always changing. I mean, I am sure that Henry James would be very shocked to see bagels on your table. My kids, when my kids say, well, do they want a steak? Both of them say, are we having carne asada? I mean, they are in this sort of culture. And so I think the wonderful thing about America has been its ability to adjust its culture over time. But if you look at by the third generation, the vast majority of the kids speak no Spanish. So it is in some ways too bad. Just like, you know, I wish my father spoke Russian with me, and that would have been nice. But the fact of the matter is that there is really the idea that Hispanic Americans are, are not going to integrate is sort of ridiculous. And if you look at the idea about somewhere around 60–70% of people in Mexico still want to immigrate to the United States. So, you know, it just seems to me a little bit off.